You're listening to Process Server Daily, the show where hustle meets strategy in the high-stakes world of process serving. From elite pros to the new servers taking massive action, these are the voices of a rising industry. Hosted by the founder of 123 Legal Support, Mighty Mike Reed. This is your backstage pass to building a profitable process serving empire. Let's get into it.
You are an expert, I would say, just so far talking to you about, skip tracing, and you turned your life around. So I think we're a little bit kindred spirits, not just the beer, of course, the Viking in us, but the actual, having empathy for those who maybe, everybody has down times, everybody kind of has issues. So we're not judging anyone or whatever, but let's start with your worst experience and then we'll transition to your greatest. What is your worst experience doing this job, and what'd you learn from it?
That's a double sort of question, Mike. First starting out, green right out of the box, took on a child custody case and found out that there was a protection order and that they hired a third party. Once I learned all that and learned that that was a no-no, we never made that mistake again. So that was probably the worst. And what I learned from it was always do your due diligence before you take on a case. See if there's any protection orders out there and be sure they're on the uppity up.
Yeah, because if you use a protection order to not go out and knock on the door from the husband, let's say, versus the wife, and the husband hires you and there's a protection order, you're actually violating that on behalf of the husband. That's what you mean?
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah. And it's actually pretty common in divorce cases that go south. They'll file restraining orders, and whether it's been served or not doesn't really matter if it's a temporary order. So yeah, and you just do a quick search and see or call, or what do you do?
Well, let's say we do both.
Yeah, we're diligent. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's great. And what I learned from that is basically just, especially when you're doing some of these higher profile, or you get some of these where there's a lot of tension, I want to say, or you get somebody to call you and say, oh man, we've had everybody and their mother trying to serve this one. Like, that should right away be a red flag that, like, hey, this is going to be one where I got to pull out a little extra research on. Right.
Yeah, you always want to do your due diligence when you're process serving. A lot of times what we'll do too is they'll give us an address, but we'll also check and be sure that that's the correct address. And then we'll be sure that everything's on the uppity up, and then we'll get them served the right way.
Nice. So we'll transition. What is your greatest experience? What makes you keep doing this? You know what I mean? Like, sometimes people do a job and they just do it because they're getting paid. But what keeps you doing this? I have a feeling there's something else here.
It's a lot deeper than that, Mike. Man, it's a touchy subject, but what I will say is helping others. I bit the bullet more times than once. I'm sure you know what I mean by that. And it's not to cut the next man's throat when it comes to an investigative work. It's because people have stories, and some stories I believe. We had a guy, I'm not going to talk too much on it, I can't mention his name, but he was wrongfully accused of rape. And we ended up doing our due diligence, and he was found not guilty in court. And his family and him, and the type of praise we got from it and whatnot, it was just rewarding. You can't be, I feel in my heart, you cannot be in this line of work and just expect a paycheck, or you're going to get no good results from anything you do in this investigative or process serving world. Child custody, same thing. We've helped families reunite. We've gave expert testimony in court on how we found our findings and helped mom or dad get custody of their child. It's sensitive, yes, but usually when we do our investigative work in child custody as well, we find that sometimes that may not be the right person to have that child, but ultimately it's up to the judge. So.
Ah, man, that's good. I appreciate that. Yeah, and that's the thing is when you know you're making a difference, that's what keeps you pushing forward. It's why I started the community. It's why I continue to grow it and hire more people that, it all goes together. It all helps. It all kind of melds together to keep pushing forward. So wrapping things up here, what is your parting piece of advice for that person who is out there getting ready to take their bucket of serves and go out and serve for the day?
Adhere to whatever state laws, do your due diligence, check on the address. Be sure that you ask the person that had hired you. It's called the venting process. I'm a firm believer that you ask them, is this person dangerous? You got to know as much about this person as possible, and then go out and serve. Try not to serve at a job. I try to have all my investigators, process servers, uh, serve at the home at a reasonable time. At the job is just insulting. So just try to go away from that and do your very best. Do your very best.
I appreciate that, Mitch. And how can everybody connect with you?
Investigations with an S at the end, Idaho.com. That's our
Awesome.
website.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Mitch. I appreciate you being a guest on the show. We're excited to release this and help everybody who wants to become a private investigator or a process server learn the steps that they need to. And it's so cool to meet an actual operator who's doing the real deal there in Idaho. So it's great to meet you, man.
Hey, well, thank you, Mike. And as always, it was a pleasure, sir.
All right, you guys, go out there, take care, be safe, and as always, live mighty, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. See ya.
Yes, sir. Bye.
That's a wrap on another episode of Process Server Daily, where the legal support industry levels up. Want to grow your process serving business with the best marketing tools, the most engaged community, and the highest ranking directory online? Visit mightyprocessserver.com. Claim your listing. Join our free community. Surround yourself with process servers who get it and build something real. From the field to the courtroom, this is Process Server Daily. Until next time, stay safe out there and live mighty.